church yet. So, with that being said, we have to get into this, man. You
Yeah.
referenced this earlier. We don't have to say the church's name, but you and I had a very interesting experience
Let
with
me let
a
me ask you this.
particular
Do you
church.
remember the church name?
Of course I do.
Okay,
That
okay.
church, I remember that church name because that church scarred me a
Yeah.
lot more than it did you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
it
I
hurt
can
me
I
a
can
lot
I
more.
can I can take you straight to the church. I remember the city and everything, but I can never remember the name. Sometimes I think about it from time to time, but I never can remember the name of the church. But of course,
This
you don't have to
is
reveal it, you know.
this is fall 2025. This happened in the summer of 2014. I still remember the name of the church. I still
Dang, it's
remember
been
the
11
pastor.
years.
Yes, sir. I still
Wow.
remember the pastor. I still remember his son. I still
Yeah.
remember the individual that invited us to that church.
Yeah,
Right?
I definitely remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So of course, so for the people listening, Derek and I, we were young. We were
Hmm.
yeah, I wasn't even my birthday was before yours. So we were both 23. I hadn't even turned 24 years old yet. And I
Hmm.
mentioned hurting my knee. This was actually probably a month before I actually hurt my knee and had to have surgery, right? So Derek and I, with some girls trying to impress them. And yeah, you all should come to this church. We got invited by that gentleman. We was like, man, if I'm not mistaken, did we go to two churches in one day?
Yeah, I'm glad because I'm glad you stopped and asked that. We was actually visiting different churches. I can't remember who initiated it, but we were visiting churches and we did leave one church to go there.
Yeah, yeah. So we went to two churches that day, man. And the messed up thing is from where we were and are now, that church is a decent little drive, right? So even
Yeah.
after all this experience, even after this experience, everyone, just know that we had to, I'll say me, I was sitting in the car and I was
Eh,
very upset for
you
about
was it
45
was on
minutes.
fire.
You could see steam coming out of my ears like that, man. So, and this is a church, and this individual that invited us to this church, the friend group that we were in, we were having weekly Bible studies, right? At this time, we was like, okay, it's a lot going on in the world. Let's start coming together and have Bible studies. And I actually
Right.
used to enjoy those Bible studies. And
Yeah.
then we would attend church on Sundays, right? The
Hold on,
individual
but I'm
that
sorry.
someone,
Before, before we move on, speaking of the Bible studies, do you remember the speaking in tongues session?
yep, I try to, yeah, I try to forget that. I try to forget that. I try to forget that.
Man, hey, we had some experiences, but I'm sorry, carry on.
Only us. Yeah, I do remember that. Yep, I try to forget it. And
Hmm.
it's funny because this church in particular, from my understanding, they did that a lot. Matter of fact, we saw
Yeah.
that happen a lot,
Hmm.
right? But yeah, so we was like, okay, we'll go to this church. We all rode together, I believe, and yep. So we walk into church. Everyone, picture the church. Picture you're walking into a church.
Hmm.
Small, maybe 100 and something people.
Yeah.
Mm. When apparently, and this is something, if I would have been privy to any of this information, I would not have been to that church. I'll tell you that,
Nah,
right?
definitely.
So
Don't touch
picture you're walking into the church area,
it.
you see people in there praising, and little did we know, anytime there's someone new and this church is
No.
small enough that you could tell when they are new individuals that step into that church. We come in, people see us, and they usher us, everyone. If you know what the inside of a court looks like, they ushering us to the side like we're the jury, right?
Hmm.
So you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
the pastor is almost like the judge.
Yep, yep,
Then
yep.
you got everybody else is in there like they're witnessing the,
Hmm.
court being session.
You're right.
And then we're over there sitting to the side
Like the
by
jury. Hey,
ourselves
that's a
like
great
we're a jury.
description. Yeah, like the jury show
Yes,
did.
that's how we were. So we walk in and they usher us over here. We're like,
Hmm.
okay, this is odd. There are some more seats out there. We could have found some seats out there,
Right,
but they
definitely.
ushering us to the side. Was the choir, was it a choir there or were they just playing music
Nah, it wasn't
and
no
the
choir.
words?
Yeah, it was on the screen.
Okay, so they were just
Hmm.
playing it's like the whole congregation was a choir. Now that I think
Yeah,
about it, why did I even say that, right?
yeah.
So we come in there and this is when they're praising and singing songs.
Hmm.
And I'm over there just sitting, kind of observing. I'm looking around. And for some reason, I see the pastor, this gentleman, looked over at me and pointed at the screen.
Yeah.
No, whatever. And, I'm kind of, he got my attention. So I'm like, like, what?
Yeah.
The words on the screen. So I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
thank you. Okay. I'm like,
Well,
okay. I
thank
mean,
you.
that was pretty nice. Yeah, that was nice. You know what I mean? Okay, I see that now. After they're done praising, the pastor then starts to speak. Then this is when it really just starts to go downhill,
Yeah.
right? Pastor started preaching. One of the first things he said was, "Yeah, we got some new people in the church, and I want to let y'all know that the words are on there because we praise in this church. You can't
Yeah.
be in here without praising."
We
So they
praise
was
God in
legit
this
trying
church.
to make us. They was legit trying to make us praise and sing the songs.
Right.
Right. And I was just thinking, there's so many reasons why a person shouldn't be praising. What if they lost their voice?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
What if they're sick? Knowing them, though, they probably think they can touch them and their voice will come back, though. Right. So, yeah, the past, and I'm trying to remember, it was a pretty long service, wasn't it?
It was.
Wasn't it a
Yeah. It
pretty
was
long
lengthy.
service?
Yeah, it was pretty
A
lengthy.
very long service. And the pastor was talking. And for the most part, when he was preaching, it was kind of like, but the pastor was preaching. He was preaching for a long time or whatever and everything. And I can remember he just kept saying, because I got power. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember, he was talking about the Lord and
Yeah.
all that. And he was like, "Cause I got power. I
Mm-hmm.
know I got power, and I'm over there thinking, I'm like, what type of power does this dude
Yeah.
have? Right?" So then he decides that, yeah, you all are here. And, I'm paraphrasing. He could have said, "God has led you all here. So I want to come up here and bless y'all and lay hands on y'all or whatever." And the funny thing is now to the people that we was with credit, because they was more with it than us. The funny thing is, we all looked at each other and was like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm gonna stay
And
right
then
here.
one person spoke up, yeah, and one person spoke up and was like, "Oh, well, we're already saved." You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We've already been saved. And he was, "Oh, okay, well, come up here and I want to put hands on you anyway."
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I remember thinking like, man, if we don't go up here, everybody about to stare at us. And how the afternoon had went, I may have been picturing people just saying Antichrist, throwing
Mm-hmm.
stuff at us and everything.
Yeah.
So then we get up there. I'm just like, man, I cannot believe I let them talk me into coming to this
Yeah.
church,
Cause
man.
hold on, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you deny going up there several times? Like,
Hmm.
if my memory can serve me right, and they almost
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
and I remember they like
I was,
the usher lady came over there was like, "Come on, come on," and we just like, "Nah, like we okay, we good, like nah, we okay."
no.
Mhm.
No, man. And then we went up there, and for everybody that's listening, just picture this. We are in a line. It's we have about four other females with us,
Yeah, it was
right?
like 6 of us
So it's
total.
them, and then Derek and I was on the end or whatever, right? So this was legit how you see on TV when you see people get Delani got you.
Yeah,
This is legit. If you remember seeing it on TV, I don't know if it's still on TV anymore. This is kind of like when the pastor touched someone on the head and now they're healed. When they touch them and they haven't walked and they start to get up and walking,
yeah.
right? So this is something
Hmm.
like that. So so this is coming from someone I don't,
I shouldn't be
bro,
laughing
I
this
don't
hard,
smoke.
man. It was hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't smoke, especially
Yeah,
back like I still don't smoke, but
I'm
I
saying you
don't
say
do
especially
things that
back
are
in.
abnormal. Right. I don't steer, right? But I don't do things that are abnormal, right? I
Hmm.
don't right? And he's coming up to every one of them. And he started speaking in tongues, if I'm
Yep.
not mistaken.
Hmm.
And they got somebody behind you
To
ready to
catch you.
catch you,
Yeah.
right? And he's speaking in tongues and then he
Hmm.
and every last person that he hit was trembling, right? And I remember seeing it, I was like, hell no, man. I ain't trying to, no, man. I'm not trying to feel no tremble and shake and lose, no, man. and he's going down every one. And it's like the closer he gets to us, the person is shaking harder and harder, man.
Yeah.
Then he gets to you, and I want you to take over right now because this is when we spoke about it. This was very funny,
Yeah.
right? So I want you to give your perspective as they're going down the line, and then what happens after you get hands laid on you.
Okay. So as I'm seeing him hit everyone, my anxiety just going up every time he get a person that's, closer to me. So in my mind, I'm thinking, because this is my first time ever experiencing anything like this. So all I can reference is TV and what they did on the TV. So I'm like,
Yeah,
do they really feel something? Like, I don't want to feel, back then I was an everyday smoker. So, I didn't want to feel anything that I
yeah,
wasn't aware of, or feel anything that, I'm just not familiar with. So that's what made me, very nervous. So in my mind, because I know that I don't know if we have said something before, if we was whispering or something, but I knew you weren't going down. I knew you was gonna do something that was gonna tickle the mess out of me, boy. I swear. So I'm looking. So as they was coming down, I'm like, okay, if it ain't nothing, if you don't get any feeling, you gotta fake it, and just to get past this moment, and that's just how I was thinking. So when they hit me, I didn't feel a thing. Like nothing came over me.
right.
My body didn't do anything, but I just just so I can get past the moment. But as I but as I hit the ground, I got one eye open looking at you because I gotta see your reaction from that point on. So as I'm on the ground, I got my one eye open and I'm looking at you. All I see is they trying to, because I knew it was gonna be hilarious.
But look, so look, after and see, I still don't know it ain't real, right? So afterwards, right? Afterwards, it's getting closer. Like you said, my anxiety is raising, right? And I'm over here. These are my thoughts because he going
Yeah.
through, he hitting everybody, talking in
Mm-hmm.
tongues, hitting
They
everybody. They
falling.
falling, they going stiff, shaking,
Yeah.
right? I'm thinking, okay, if this work on Derek, this is for real, man. And I ain't got nowhere to go. I gotta sit here and take it. If this work on Derek, this is for real. So I'm over there looking at you like, man, no, man, no, man. Look, Derek, man, please tell me that was a stunt, man. Derek, please tell me that was a stunt, man. Tell me you were just doing that for the pastor, man. And so you went down. Right. It's kind of like it's all in so many ways. It's kind of like you see, and I never experienced this either, right? When you see
Mm-hmm.
people on the stage and the hypnotist is putting them to sleep, and it's like, all right, sleep, sleep. It's like that, right? As they coming, and that's something I don't never want to do either,
Yeah.
right? So as he's at me now, and I'm just like, man, and it's like that time he was in front of me felt like forever, man. And he
Yeah.
was just right there. And
And
then, somebody behind you. Yeah, and then he hit me, and I'm like, nah, no, I'm not going down. Nah, no, I'm not going down.
and I'm right there with my one eye open, crying, laughing on the inside.
Hey, and then, what they do after that, because I know you saw it. After they hit me one time, and I'm like, nah,
If I'm
what
not
they do,
mistaken,
bro, what they do, what
did
he
he
do
hit
to
you
me.
again?
He hit me
Yeah,
again.
hit you
He hit me
again.
again,
Yeah.
man. And he was like, nah, yeah, this young man ain't saved. Hit me again. And at that point, I fell. And I'm just like, man, ain't no way, man. When did we get
Well,
up? How long was we down there?
we wasn't down that long because once I seen you fall, I think I was kind of because like I had my eye closed on like the first few hits, but once I seen you fall, we was kind of like getting up because I think you got up the quickest. Everybody else kind of stayed down and kind of act like they was out of it and everything, but I was up, waiting on you to raise up. I needed you to make eye contact with me. That's what I was waiting on. And I remember watching you getting up, and I'm looking at you like, like, was it real? Or did you feel something? Because I didn't feel nothing.
We did look at each other. It's like, did you feel something? I feel something. If you like what you just heard, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, SNE 2.0. SNE stands for Spare No Effort. All we're trying to do is help people become the best version of themselves. So please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember, spare no effort.